I'm Amy Winslow. Company is Products to Profits. Thank you for the cheering, Jeff. I appreciate it because today apparently we got some people that, they just have profane things to say.
Hey there, who's on the phone line wants to say hello? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Amy. How you doing?
Hi, who's this?
This is Anthony Ruffino.
Hey, Anthony. Nice to hear you. We've got a Periscope going today, too. We got questions coming from all three sides, Anthony.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, welcome. Well, I see we've got some other people. We've got somebody from New York. We got Canada. We've got Florida. And I'm going to put everybody on mute real quick here and just dive in because I've got some content that I really want to share. First, before I do that, these are a live Q&A call that I do every other Monday. My background is actually as a product developer, and so my business, Products to Profits, exists at the intersection between product development, sales, and marketing of consumer products, primarily for the U.S. market. We share clients with two of the sharks from Shark Tank, and, we have worked on lines that have done $300 million in 3 years. Another product line, $2.5 million, its first year in sales. And if you guys on Periscope like that, hit some hearts because that definitely takes some action to do. So, one of the things that's really become very clear to me is that obviously every business needs PR, they need marketing. And a lot of people don't know how to go about getting it. So I thought I would do a quick piece of content today before I take some questions about what do you do to get PR and how does that work and why do you get included versus somebody else. Okay, so my background is as a product developer, like I said. I speak for the Patent and Trademark Office, etc. But I've also been included in Entrepreneur Magazine. I'm showing this for everybody who's seeing on Periscope. I was in the September issue, about, 2 Septembers ago, the May issue. This is a 7-page article that we were the number 1 or number 2 sources of information. We got some clients in the article. And all of that was done for free. And I've been on TV shows where we've done spots that have gone to 35 million households. And so all of that media has happened for free. And our clients regularly get things for free, and they get included in some very, very major publications, including I think we've got a client that's probably going to be in Business World today, Business News. And then there's another one for Wall Street Journal. We've got some people that are getting included on radio shows. Just this morning I got another booking for a conference panel. So when you're thinking about PR, it's a little distinct than the Super Bowl ads that we all saw yesterday. If you really liked the Super Bowl ads, you and I are one and the same because I love watching the Super Bowl for that reason alone. And Intuit did a very interesting thing that got them a lot of PR. They're a very large company, but they ran a contest. And that contest was to get someone from their contest entrance a $5 million ad spot on the Super Bowl. And they paid for everything for it. So that's pretty awesome, right? Well, in that case, they ran this contest, and it was really around, hey, who got the most votes for this award, right? But if you want awesome PR, it happens every day, from the Huffington Post blog articles to Time Magazine, Business Journal, Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, Good Housekeeping, People, Shape Magazine, you name it, it happens. So what do you need to do to get awesome PR? Well, first off, there's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points to this, okay? I've got them up on my whiteboard over here. So write this down really fast. To get awesome PR, first off, you have to know the market of the publication you want to be mentioned in, okay? sometimes journalists will put out requests. We've been very fortunate to be seeing a lot of requests right now that are good for our clients and some of the people in our network. I know I sent one to Neil last week. And so, number one, know the market that their magazine serves. You can find that online. You can check the advertiser editorial calendar area of their website, find that. Number two, you got to be a good fit for the article slant that they're looking for, or have something that's very, very, very unique about what you're doing, okay? And I'm seeing some comments come through. Neil, you're absolutely welcome. Glad to send that publication out to you. Hopefully you get included. Some of these PR pieces that are out there and available to you to be in can reach millions of households. And, you know, when we've been included in things, we've signed business almost immediately. It's very high profile, and it's a very good credentializer. But so one, you want to know the market of the publication or the show, okay? Then you want to know that you're a good fit. You have to be a good fit for what they're trying to talk about and do, okay? The third thing is, if it's a specific request from a journalist, answer their specific question with a surprise twist, an insight, something different than other people would say, okay? The fourth thing is to give good sound bites. Last week there was a request that came across. Somebody was looking for insight for Women's Wear Daily on what was driving all the licensing between different clothing businesses and retail businesses and consumer brands. So we were able to give a great soundbite about that, and we will very likely get into that publication. So give good soundbites. In writing, if you're answering the question in email, which a lot of people will ask you to do, a soundbite is about 3 sentences, short, brief, to the point sentences, okay? The sentences are not necessarily about you or your product, but directly answer the question that's asked, okay? You have to be brief. That's the 5th point. Be brief in your answers. Journalists are very busy, and when they get pitches, it usually means that they're getting at least 20 to 25 or 30 pitches about the same article, particularly if it's one that they've publicized through a listing service. The last point is, after your signature line, what you want to do is give them, 2 to 3 sentence paragraphs, maybe 2 or 3 of those, that are about you or your company or your background or why you're a good fit, okay? And this is where you can actually pitch your product a little bit or promote it or say, if you want more information, here's my website, and you can include a photo of the product in your signature line or below that. It's a best practice to actually copy their posting or their topic into your email so that you keep yourself on track. I usually do that below the signature line. And I find that helps a lot with me referring back and forth. Be personable, be friendly, be helpful to them and their article, okay? Because that's the goal that you want it to make. And this will work for anything from your local city publications to regional to national media, okay? Let's see, there was another one about Super Bowl ads. And so we answered that last week. It can work for anything from radio spots to television spots to print publication as well. So with that, I'm going to see, let's take some questions here. We've got a bunch of people that are coming in. We've got, let's see, Massachusetts and New York and Texas and California, Florida. Yeah, PR, for anybody who doesn't know the acronym PR, it means public relations. It's getting your business included in a magazine, a television show, an interview spot, all of that. And how you do it for free is really the topic here. So with that, if you're on the phone line and you want to raise your hand and ask a question, today just press star 2 on your phone, and that'll raise your hand so that I know that you're that you've got a question for me. If you're on the online, you can ask a question over there. Just type it in the Q&A box. Let me go look there at our webcast. Oh, we got a bunch of people on the webcast. And the phone lines. What kind of products are you guys working with, and what kind of businesses do you have? So we can give you some suggestions for PR for that specifically. Happy to do it. Okay, so Q&A from online. Someone's asking, how do I know if my product is a good fit for their audience? Okay. Think about the articles that someone who uses your product would read, for one thing, and that's usually a good place to start. You want to also look for seasonal slants to what you're talking about. Like for us, a lot came out about the Super Bowl, so that's a good seasonal take on something. If you have a football-related product, there was a lot of that. If you had anything about barbecuing, that was a good time. Right now, the next seasons are, of course, Valentine's Day is what's happening right now. They're looking for things for gift guides. So keep it very seasonal and pay attention to the news is another way to do it. If your product solves a problem that comes up in the news because some celebrity does something or those kind of things, it can really boost a lot of demand, okay? And let's see, we've got another question from online. And I'm going to take some questions from the Periscope too. So if you've got a question around how to get publicity for your business, just type it in because I am watching that. Let's see. Soundbites. An example of a soundbite for a clothing product line. A soundbite for a clothing product line would be something like, the Women's Wear Daily article, for example. What was driving the licensing activity that's happening? Well, it's that products are trying to use what's called omni-channel marketing, and omni-channel is because the market is really splintered right now, so they're looking for exposure. And the soundbite was about how do you get that the companies that are doing a lot of the licensing deals right now and the co-branded activity are looking to put new products into their distribution channel quickly and easier than they could by themselves, okay? So that's an example of a soundbite. A soundbite, if it's a radio or TV, soundbite is usually considered about 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds, okay? So that gives you a little bit for an audio program. Let's go back over to the phone line, see if we have any questions there. I'm not seeing any, but we got a bunch more people popping in. So hi, this is Amy. We've been talking about getting PR for products and how you do that and why you would bother. It can really boost a lot of sales. The ad spot yesterday that I mentioned in an email I sent out this morning, the ad spot for Death Wish Coffee was worth $5 million to the company. That's how much it costs for a Super Bowl spot. And Intuit gave that away as part of a contest. That contest was a way for Intuit to get PR, for one thing, around marketing dollars that they were spending, but it was also a way for Death Wish Coffee to get a lot of eyeballs, and they've already done just a ton of sales from that one spot and from using the fact that they were winners. So the fact that they were winners of that Intuit spot means that they're actually able to get PR based on that. Does that make sense? So I am going to go over here to our Q&A again, refresh this. Let's see. Is there a 5-session course or webinar available, or am I going to make another one? Yes. Thank you, Dor. We do have a 5-session webinar. It's actually been expanded to 8 sessions, and it's all about creating great products and how you do that from the beginning. We are working on that. I'm about to start the actual recording. The content is, for the most part, created on it. So we will be putting that out. It's going to launch for the first actual session will be sent out via email to the people that purchase that and invest in it somewhere around St. Patrick's Day, so around March 17th. We will get that We'll get that out to everybody who's on the mailing list. If you're on the Periscope or you're seeing this through Twitter and you haven't followed us, you can actually go to productstoprofits.com and opt in to get on this call list. Doris was asking the same question. Is the webinar course available yet? We have updated it, and it's expanded to 8 sessions. It's awesome. So I'm super excited. We will get that over to everybody. But like I said, it's going to take us a little bit. You'll be able to start seeing information about that within probably about the next 2 weeks. Does anybody on the phone lines have a question today about PR or anything else related to your product? You can press *2. That will raise your hand. We've got a few more minutes here. Happy to help with anything that I can. Hi. Hi there. We've got some people typing questions from Periscope and interacting there. So with that, refresh our Q&A. Good deal. I want to know, who on the phone lines has actually already gotten their product or their business into a publication? Anybody?
I have been on My Cool Inventions radio show. Is that a publication?
That is PR, yeah. So, Anthony, what was your experience like?
A little nervous. First time doing it. They asked me to come back on the show March 8th, so I got to plug in and ask for people to listen and give me thumbs up on that.
Okay.
And I guess I'm just taking the next steps and the way things are going, just to keep moving forward and don't look behind me because we know the dust is going to settle.
Yeah. Do you want some tips about how to be calm when you're going to do something on camera, whether it's, Periscope or a live radio or a live TV show?
Yes, please.
I've done a little bit of that. So these are tips that I use. So for everybody who's on Periscope or who's listening, when you are feeling fearful, you want to actually remember, first off, that the physiological feeling of fear is the same as excitement, okay? Physiology is very, very tricky. Our brain makes the adrenaline surge mean that we're afraid, okay? Like that when we feel fear, adrenaline starts pumping. Well, when we feel excited, also adrenaline starts pumping. So a lot of the same neurotransmitters kick in. Okay, for both of them. So you can actually start to go, oh, cool, I feel like I'm afraid. Awesome, maybe I'm just excited. And start to question whether it's fear, because if you go like, oh my God, I'm so afraid, you build the fear, for one thing. The other thing is some physical stuff you can do. If you're sitting in a chair before you go on air, you can take both hands, and depends on the kind of chair you're in, but you reach, if you're sitting, take both hands, reach down under the bottom part of the seat that you're sitting in and pull down as hard as you can for like 2 or 3 breaths, okay? And what that does is it actually gets rid of the nervous energy in your arms, your shoulders, your hands, so that you're not like spastic gestures, okay? It will relax your arms so you're much more natural, plus it gives your brain something to focus on, so that you know you're in control of your body, okay?
Okay.
Another one, if you can't do that, is wiggle your toes while waiting for cameras to roll or the call to kick in or something like that. Again, it tells your body you're in control of something, and it's amazing how calming that can be. Let's see, the other ones, if you tend to feel like you're running on empty, your energy, drink about 8 ounces of orange juice about half an hour before. That will fuel your brain better than any other form of fuel that you can put in. But don't do it too far in advance, okay? But half an hour before gives it enough time to get into your bloodstream so that your brain is functioning really well, okay? And it's not long enough in advance to hit a sugar crash. So time it at about half an hour. Really, really helpful. And then just have talking points. It's really important to just kind of stay focused on message, stay really present to the question they ask. The other point when you're being interviewed is to remember that they have their agenda and you have your agenda, okay? So sometimes you can answer your own agenda within their question. And other times you might want to actually only answer the question that's asked. Don't want more information, okay? Especially if it started to feel confrontational, which it won't. On My Cool Inventions, they're very gracious to people. So
yes.
Yeah. And then definitely take advantage of using the recording afterwards, Anthony. That's awesome.
Okay.
Post it to all your social media, etc. Okay?
Okay, terrific. Thank you very much for that. That's very helpful, Amy.
You're welcome. And if you are on Twitter, you can actually tag products to profits in that. And our Twitter handle is PROD, the number 2, and the word profit. And that will help your exposure on it. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, happy to do it for you, all right?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Does anybody else from the phone line have a question or experience with PR or something coming up you want to have happen? Let's see, we've got a question from a Periscope viewer. Where can I find the Women's Wear Daily article? The Women's Wear Daily article has not come out yet. It was being worked on for a deadline of tomorrow. So that means that it's probably going to be in Wednesday's edition of Women's Wear Daily. Okay? So MJ, hopefully that helps you. Does anybody want to know how you can find out about PR opportunities? Somebody give me a signal. If you're online, type something in the Q&A box. And if you're on the phone line, raise your hand by *2, and I'll help you figure that out. We send them out to our clients as we see them, so that's one way that our clients find out about them. So somebody on Periscope is asking, yes, please tell us how. You can use a service called a HARO, which is HARO, if you want print publications, if you want radio spots. There's several different services. There's Radio Guest List is one. We monitor that. And then I get invited to a lot of things just because I do so much speaking. But HARO is really good. They put out a listing 2 or 3 times a day, and it's of active journalist requests. The timeline is very short. Be prepared when you start getting media or wanting media that your turnaround time could be 4 hours for some of these, and they may be a little bit longer depending on the publication. So don't be surprised. They'll come and go really quickly, and get yourself in a rhythm of looking at them every day. Okay? So with that, we are coming up on 11:30. So I'm going to just do one more round of Q&A on seeing if there's any questions on the phone lines. Cool. *2 on the phone line if you want to raise your hand and ask a question. Okay, and then on the webcast, yes, somebody is asking, what kind of message ideas could I be good for? You want to actually think very holistically. I don't know your project completely, but there will be story angles hidden a lot of places. So if you are, let's say, a husband and wife team doing your product or your business, you could respond to what it's like to be a husband and wife team that work together, and how do you set aside that energy at the end of the day to be a couple or to be parents for your kids. Or you'll see some things sometimes in parenting magazines where they talk about balancing your work life and your kids. Any of those kinds of things can also help you promote your business, okay? So you want to look at it from the standpoint of, yes, you're promoting your business, but you can use other elements from your life. For example, I answer things around fashion, my passions. I answer them around licensing. I answer around developing products. We have clients where, we know that one client is a retired attorney and he's doing his product, and so, we know what to watch out for him. We're not a PR agency. We just do this as part of our service for clients. So use all the story points you have, frankly. If you're a women-owned business, use that. If you're a minority-owned business, use that. If you are passionate about fishing and developed a fishing product, use that. Play every ace you have and pay attention to, you know, if you use technology in your business, like we do. We're using Periscope. So there were a whole bunch of requests last week. There was one that was specifically for women-owned businesses that use Periscope that have had results from it. And we've had some huge results from using Periscope and conference lines and how do you integrate all that together. So we're actually up for being included in several different articles because we're using a particular technology. So definitely pay attention to all of that because it can really mean revenue for you. It can mean eyeballs to what you're doing. So I'm going to go back over to our phone line real quick here, and great. It looks like we've taken care of everyone from the phone, and there's no more Periscope questions coming. And I think we got everybody from the webcast. So with that, everyone, have a great Monday, and I look forward to talking with you again. We'll be doing another call in about 2 weeks, and I think we're going to have a webinar that's going to be a free webinar coming up in the next probably 3 weeks, and it'll be about saving time while creating wealth in your product business. So that's really good. I'm looking over here to my left because I've got content up about it. Super excited for that. Pay attention to your emails. If you're not on the email list for these, go to products2profits.com/free product coaching, and you'll get on the email reminders list. We do try and post to social media as well. Just doesn't always happen, so the email list is the best way to get on them. And with that, everybody, I'm going to say goodbye, and you know, good to see you and to hear from some of you. And Anthony, good luck with the Cool Inventions show on the 8th. Talk to you soon. Bye.